Most people think real estate development is simple: buy land, build apartments, sell units, hand over keys. Sounds neat, right? But any builder who has actually run a residential project knows the truth. A project can look profitable on paper and still bleed cash later. A location can look hot and still fail. A launch can get leads, yet no bookings. And yes, even a beautiful building can damage the brand if possession is messy. Here's the thing: grade A developers don't treat real estate as a construction business, they treat it as a risk management business. That small shift changes everything. For builders in Tier 2 and Tier 3 Indian markets, this shift is becoming more important by the year. Customers are sharper, RERA has changed the trust equation. Digital marketing has made every project visible, but also to compare. A weak promise, a poor follow up, or a delayed handover doesn't stay hidden anymore. It travels fast, sometimes faster than the project's own ads. So, how do strong developers reduce risk before it becomes expensive? They follow a stage wise system. Not a fancy system, not some boardroom theory, a practical, repeatable, slightly boring, but very useful system. Let me explain. It is not a project, it is a risk funnel. A residential real estate project usually passes through 6 major stages: 1. Land and deal, 2. Product and approvals, 3. Finance and procurement, 4. Marketing and sales, 5. Construction and quality, and finally 6. Possession and brand. Each stage has its own job. More importantly, each stage has its own risk gates. Think of these gates like traffic signals. Green means go, orange means fix something before you move ahead, red means stop because the cost of ignoring the problem will only grow.
I want to pause here and let you know that a real estate developer has to deal with various local, socio-political and administrative hassles. But I want to focus on the process in this video and not the unofficial roadblocks. I will cover that in another video. Also, I have added a free 6-stage risk gate workbook in the description. Please feel free to download and score your projects. Moving on.
And in real estate, problems rarely stay small. A title issue becomes a funding issue. A wrong unit mix becomes a slow sales issue. Weak cash flow becomes construction delay. Poor handover becomes bad reviews. One loose brick can shake the whole wall. So let's move ahead to stage 1, the deal. Good land or just cheap land? The deal stage is where many developers get excited, sometimes too excited. A parcel looks affordable, the owner is ready, the broker says, "Sir, this is the next big area." The price feels tempting. But cheap land is not always good land. In fact, cheap land often becomes costly later. The deal stage must answer 3 plain questions: is the ownership clean? Is the location strong? Is the price sensible? This is where business development, commercial feasibility, legal due diligence, technical checks, and final acquisitions come in. A serious developer will scan the micromarket, map landowners, speak to brokers, study access roads, check nearby demand, and run numbers before saying yes. They will also look at title, family tree, revenue records, litigation history, boundaries, soil, utilities, and access. Sounds like a lot, right? It is. But this is the stage where discipline saves crores. A bad land decision is like choosing the wrong foundation for a house. You can decorate the walls later, but the cracks will still show. Stage 2, the product. Don't build for everyone. Once land is secured, the next trap appears: trying to please everyone. The project cannot be for newly married couples, investors, retirees, large families, NRIs, and premium lifestyle buyers all at once. This kind of thinking creates confused layouts, weak positioning, and a sales team that doesn't know what the story to tell. The product stage asks sharper questions. Who is the right customer? What unit mix will work? What price can the market absorb? Which amenities will buyers actually pay for? This is where product development, architecture design, and approvals come together. For example, a premium project near a school belt may need larger 3 BHKs, child friendly spaces. A compact project near an employment hub may need efficient 2 BHKs, better parking logic, and strong rental yield messaging. You know what? Amenities are often misunderstood here. A clubhouse is not a strategy, a swimming pool is not a brand promise. A theme is useful only when it speaks to the buyer's life. Otherwise, it becomes a brochure decoration. The product must fit the market, not the builder's ego, not the architecture's mood board. Stage 3, Finance. Cash flow is the real boss. Most people say real estate is about land. Some say it is about construction. Honestly, it's about cash flow. A project survives when money comes in and goes out in the right rhythm. If that rhythm breaks, everything gets tense. Vendors slow down, site work gets patchy, customers panic, sales team lose confidence. The finance stage asks two big questions. Can the project survive a poor sales scenario? Are the right vendors and partners in place? This includes budgeting, funding, collection planning, RERA account planning, tenders and contracts, etc. A good developer will model pessimistic, realistic, and optimistic scenarios. Not because they enjoy Excel sheets, though some finance teams actually do that, but because real life rarely follows the expected case. Material prices move, labor availability changes, sales volume slows, approvals take longer, tiny changes add up. A project that looks profitable only in the best case scenario is not a strong project, it's a hopeful project. Hope is nice, but cash flow is better. Stage 4, Marketing. The market votes before the building exists. Now comes the exciting part. The launch, the hoardings, the WhatsApp campaigns, the digital ads, the site office, the brochures, the drone shoots, the limited inventory message that everyone has seen 100 times. But marketing is not noise. Good marketing is proof. At this stage, the core risk gate is simple. Will the market believe the project before the building is ready? That belief comes from positioning, location story, brand story, launch planning, site branding, digital campaigns, collaterals, lead generation, and customer communication. This is where many tier 2, tier 3 builders lose money without noticing it. They spend heavily on meta ads or Google ads, but the leads are weak, or the leads are fine, but the follow up is poor, or the sales team explains carpet area, payment plans, and amenities, but never explains why this project deserves trust. That gap creates a CAC blowout, high customer acquisition cost with low booking output. The fix is not always more leads, sometimes the fix is a tighter story, better inquiry handling, faster callbacks, cleaner site experience, and sharper sales script. A project must feel real before it is real. That is the magic of strong GTM planning. Stage 5, Construction. Promise before concrete. Construction is where all earlier promises are tested. The brochures made claims, the sales team created expectations, customers paid booking amount, now the site must speak. This stage covers mobilization, civil works, MEP, facade, finishes, quality checks, material testing, and NCR closures. The main risk gate is direct. Can you convert promise into a physical asset without cost shocks, labor gaps, or quality issues? Construction delays do not always start at construction. They often start earlier when weak finance planning, poor vendor selection, unclear drawings, late approvals, or over-promising during launch. That is why the 6 stage must work together. They overlap, they talk to each other. They are not separate boxes in a PowerPoint deck. A strong construction process protects both margin and reputation. And reputation matters. In real estate, the next project is sold partly by the last project. Stage 6, Position. The last mile. It is the moment the customer decides what your brand really means. This stage includes OC utilities, snack closures, possession kits, facility management setup, association transactions, reviews, referrals, NPS, etc. A smooth handover can turn buyers into promoters. A messy handover can turn them into a WhatsApp group nightmare. And let's be fair, customers remember the last mile. They may forget the launch event, they may forget the brochure copy, but they won't forget a leaking bathroom a dead lift, a missing amenity, or a staff member who avoids calls after possession. The final risk rate is emotional as much as operational. Will the customer recommend this brand? That one question can decide future sales. The mistake: treating these stages like a straight line. It's a small contradiction. Yes, these are 6 stages. No, they don't happen one after the other in a straight line. Finance starts while product planning is underway. Marketing depends on product clarity. Construction depends on procurement and approvals. Possession quality depends on decision made months or years earlier. Real estate development is more like cooking a proper biryani than making instant noodles. Timing matters. Layering matters. Heat matters. One rush step changes the whole taste. Builders who understands this create better control. Builders who ignore it keep firefighting. So what should a builder take from this? The 6 stage system is not about making work complicated. It is about making risks visible. Because once risk is visible, it can be priced, fixed, reduced, or even avoided. For a growing builder base in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, this system can help answer practical questions before money is logged in. Is this land worth buying? Is this product right for the market? Can cash flow survive delays? Will the launch create real bookings? Can the site deliver what was promised? Will handover build trust or damage it? This is the real game. Not just building one project, building a brand that can sell the next one faster.
If you want to apply this in your next project, I have linked a free workbook in the description. It maps all 6 stages and helps you audit where the risk is entering in your project. And if you want a professional review of your GTM plan, marketing leakage, sales funnel, or launch readiness, you can book a free 30-minute consultation call with me and my team. I am LS from LS Frameworks. Thanks for your time.